Right, so I believe we're going live, and I'm just going to test this. We should be live. I'm just going to get the stream as well. So I'm just going to do a share. I'll share it on Twitter, which is now x.com. So consider that shared. And I'm just going to hit a little test here just to make sure that I can see. If anyone does type, I should be able to see that in if people do join the stream. And this stream is going to be about upgrading Python. So I'm going to be going from version, so actually write this down maybe as a note, if I can, a sticky note or something. And in fact, we're going to upgrade Python from version 3.11. Let's get rid of all of the sound on here, otherwise I'll be getting too much sound. From version 3.11 to version 3.12, and upgrade Python, and then we've got from and then to over here, so there are two versions. And what is the difference between them? There's a couple of differences. One is the F strings. Okay, it's nice to have. I don't really care for that much. The other one is actually the typing module, which seems to be now, I think it's imported as a keyword in Python, so that would be interesting to use. They're kind of like the two major differences, and actually if I did have it open somewhere, but I don't know if I do. I do over here, kind of like what's new in Python 3.12, and I did do a video on this a while ago just to take a look at the new features, but in particular I think the nice thing here was the type parameter syntax and the type statement, which since doing that I've completely forgotten about. Other people like the F strings grammar, but basically what it allows you to do for the F strings grammar is it lets you put things in quotation marks. The type statement looked like quite a nice thing, and I think some people here will like the GIL interpreter as well. And I noticed that there was some speed enhancements somewhere too on something. Oh yeah, it was on async.io if I can find it. Oh, you've got the type dict as well, so there was improvements there. And async.io, I believe it's 75% faster under certain cases, although I don't know if I can find that. I was quite interested in this. It's heading in the right direction, so let me go and click on it. But this type statement over here, I was interested in this because you can now create a your own type, which looks like it might be quite helpful. You know, there was type hinting before in a way, but I think the type statement adds a little bit of extra functionality potentially. So I kind of wanted to have that, but anyway, it's just nice to be on the latest version of Python. But unfortunately for me, I can't just migrate straight away because I run a lot of I run some other code, not a lot of other. I run other code that is using Python 3.11, the current version, and I've got many packages that are installed, and kind of like I had this open here because one of the things that I do, and it's a whole trading thing, it requires a whole bunch of modules over here that I would need to install. So, and the way of doing that is, I believe, a Python minus m pip install requirements .txt, but actually some of the things that I've asked, I'm not going to do that yet because I haven't actually downloaded the latest version of Python. When I do, all of the things that I used to run, if I haven't done the if I haven't installed the module, so here are some common modules, and you know, these ones do manifest themselves in the thing that I want to get running. But here are some other modules, AIO, HTTP, and so forth. But I think so one of them, like this one, async.io, I think is a built-in module. And actually, I did go and ask Claude AI over here where is it? So I'll do a little zoom in, Control plus 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 a few times. My first question was, and just to make sure that I'm going to do it the right way, it just says pip install requirements.txt minus r requirements.txt, but I know that the minus r flag isn't actually necessary, so I can just get away with that. But actually, it should be saying do a Python minus m to install it to the latest current version of Python, which it hasn't done. So I guess it just assumes maybe that would install to the latest current version of Python, but to be on the safe side, I literally always do that. So I'll be doing a Python minus m before that. And one of the things to notice is it tells you, or it does show you somewhere the modules that you need modules that look like this, and then it will install them. But I don't want modules like that. So that's other questions before that. I don't want modules like this. I just want the latest version of the module, because I want, like, whatever NumPy is, I want the latest version of it. And if it's not backward compatible or it does break, that's a risk that I'm running, but I'd rather fix it and sort of like migrate forwards, because what happens otherwise is you end up with this really, really legacy code, like from 10 modules back, and then it's certainly, or the likelihood of it not being backward compatible just increases and increases. Whereas I just feel in my mind it's easier to do small fixes along the way, but other people will have their own views and comments about things like that. So if I just install, my modules looking like this, NumPy pandas and matplotlib in the requirements.txt file, it will just get me the latest version. But one of the things I noticed is I had async.io, and is async.io a built-in module? And what I should actually do is go back over here and just go to built-in modules in Python and just have a look here. So I've actually been there before. Python module index, let's have a look. Let's just have a look if, yeah, async.io is there. So I don't think I need that anymore. So I can actually go over here to my requirements.txt, and I think this is now, I'm going to forward slash it because it is now built in. This is built in now. So whereas I think in earlier versions it probably wasn't a built-in module, it is now. So I'm going to tab and put a little arrow there. This is built in now. Okay, so but let's have a look. AIO files, asynchronous input and output. That's not built in, so that's fine. For some reason, it's really, really odd, because I always install NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn, and they're just not built-in modules. Although, like, pretty much every person who's coded in Python probably has downloaded them at some point in time. Like NumPy is one of the most popular modules. But anyway, I'm just looking down; it's not there. There's things like this, like TweetPy. I've stopped using Twitter. The reason why is Twitter started charging, and they've become very cumbersome in terms of using their API, and the module, which was once TweetPy, which was relatively easy and straightforward to use. Every time Twitter makes a change, and kind of like, if you're a developer, it's fine, and you're just working on it full time, it's fine. But if you're not a full-time developer, every time they make a change and it breaks your code, that breaks a much larger code base, and it gets annoying at a certain point in time. I do see that Twitter requires this. Again, I'm never calling TweetPy, so maybe I don't need this. But anyway, I know that I would use requests anyway. I wonder if OAuth-lib is required there or not. It is a thing. No, it's not. So that's not a built-in module. So I would need to do that. But actually, I might take a look at that. Twitter requires this, but let's just have a look. Python packages. I just go to the PyPy index, I guess, and search for OAuth-lib and hit return. Just have a look at this. That's that many packages, 500,000 modules, which is more modules than probably the number of words in the English language. So we're talking about something that's very complete here. But let's just go there, OAuthLib. It looks like we're talking about this one. I did notice also that I had there's a request to OAuthLib. There's an asynchronous HTTP. So I have the request to OAuthLib as well. So I'll have a little look at this one, but OAuthLib, I'll open it in a new tab, just have a look at it. OAuth seems complicated, difficult to implement. There are several prominent libraries for handling authentication requests, but they all suffer from one or both of the following. Okay, so some sort of update there. By the way, like these Twitter updates, which are perfectly fine, they're kind of like bringing their library into practice as well. So at least they're modifying their library to become up to scratch, or modernizing it, should I say. So I don't think I'll use this, but I haven't got an aversion. Like some of these I will just download, even though I probably don't need to, just for the purpose of completeness. But what was the other one? If I was to go back and have a look at that, go back there, which was a requests one over there. So open link in new tab over here, and we've got, so from requests there. Again, it's overly complicated and quirky. These modules make it. Luckily, requests OAuthLib hides most of these things and lets you focus on the task at hand. So, yeah, I want to be doing something like this, twitter.get URL or something like that, to make my life easy. I don't think I want to be doing all of the other stuff, and that's what these type of requests sort of libraries do. They give you that. I probably won't be using this though. But nevertheless, I'll download it. If I go to the home page on that, yeah, some of these things are very old. I was just trying to look at like the sizes of it, but it won't be very big at all. So I'd rather just have it in the background than not, if that makes some sense. So that's pretty much it, I guess. Now I need to go to Python, not packages, but just Python, and the python.org website, which I visited before. And I'm going to just need to go to download and 3.12. Note that Python 3.0, you have to be on Windows 7 or earlier. It's fine, I'm on Windows 11. Of course, you can download for Mac and Linux as well. But I'm just using Windows, so download for Windows, and the download has started. We can see that over here. I don't think there's much for me to have to do actually. I did do this on the laptop, it's all like work straight out of the box, and show in folder. So I'm just going to double click on it in the folder. So it's like I double clicked on it in the folder there, and one thing that I definitely want to do is add Python to path. And basically, I'm not gonna. I always do the same thing. This is the way to do it, and the reason I'm doing this recording is everyone falls, or not everyone. Some people do fall flat on their face and have all of these different types of problems. I don't know why this isn't ticked like by default. But if you don't remember to tick this, you have to go back and add it to path in a different way. And I kind of like, I've never had a case where like I've not wanted to add it to path, because basically you want to do a Python and to like run your thing. But if you don't tick it, maybe that's why you have to do a Python -m pip install, because you want to make sure that you're installing it to the right Python. And if you haven't added it to the path, maybe it's going to install it to the previous version, the other version, the previous version. So I'm adding the python.exe to path, and I'm going to hit install now, which is going to break my stuff. So I'm going to hit yes, and it's initializing. And this is where everything breaks. So we're doing this in real time, streaming. So there'll be a bit slower bandwidth, I guess, for certain things if it needs to download, but the download was quite fast. And this was the actual file that was actually being downloaded over there, which was this Python executable that I downloaded. It's not that big as a file, so it's perfectly fine. It's, as we can see, it's relatively fast, and it's going to do its installation relatively fast. I wonder if I have to actually exit my VS Codes, for example, or maybe I can just do a test of it actually in a terminal. So I'll try and open up a terminal. In the meantime, terminal. So if I go over here and click on the terminal to open up a terminal app. Put a little bit of pressure on the PC by running a few different things at the same time. Oh, the terminal app has opened somewhere. It's over there, okay, on the side. So let me just drag it in. If I do Python, it says 3.11, but we're not in. So I'm just going to do an exit for now. So exit. I think it's like that. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So hopefully, when it's installed, I'm hoping that if I just do a Python next time when it's installed, that it will. I might have to restart the terminal. I don't know. But I'm hoping that when it has installed itself, that I should just be able to do a Python and see that I get the newest version. I think there's things like doing where Python and so forth, but sometimes they do and don't work. In this terminal, they will work in a command prompt. So if I was to do a command prompt, I think if I do something like where Python, it actually tells me all of my versions of Python and where they're located. If I was to type in aware Python here, I actually avoided it. It doesn't do that. I wonder if where and then you put it in quotation Python, if that would actually work. Let's have a look. No. So it works in the command prompt, but it doesn't work in the terminal. If somebody knows how to get current version of Python in the terminal without me having to pull out the old Claude AI over here and sort of like asking how does aware work. But anyway, I commented out the async IO. But if I didn't, I wonder if it would have broken. That's why I sort of like commented it out. So when I do a pip install Python -m pip install requirements.txt, I don't know if that would break it and not continue, or if it would just say I could not do it and then just continue undoing all the other packages. I'm hoping they would just sort of like bypass the broken one, throw you the error message. But nevertheless, I don't really think I want to see error messages. That would complicate things, should we say. Okay, new to Python, start with an online tutorial and documentation. See what's new, using Python on Windows, and find out more info about using it. I'll go to the online tutorial for the sake of it, although it doesn't show very, like, okay, I'll leave that for another time, but I'll just keep the tab open and using Python on Windows. Let's have a look about that one, because I've never seen that before. But okay, using Python is documentation, gives an overview of Windows-specific behavior that you should know about when using Python, because all of the language, like Python runs on all of the different operating system. This will be users and whatever my thing is, and it launches it. This is typically where it goes unless you do a custom installation. After starting, one of two options may be selected. If you select the install now, you will not need to be an administrator unless a system update for C manager. Okay. Python will be installed on your user directory. That's kind of like, it's just the default version location of where it will go. If the standard library is test, I just wonder, it doesn't actually mention the add to path, or does it? Oh, here you go. To perform all users installation, you should do the custom one. So I'm not going to bother with the all users because I'm the only person that uses this PC. Um, that was fine. You may be required to administrative credentials and so forth. Python will be installed to the It will just install it to a different directory, I guess, if you want to install it for all users. But I don't, and I never have done. I've always installed it this way for myself. But then there may be cases where you do. So the standard library can be precompiled bytecode. If selected, the install directory will be added to the system path. Now, anyway, that just reminds me, shortcuts are made available for all users. Okay, that's it. I wasn't prompted for anything else, and the installation has run, and there's nothing else to go there. So I'm going to hit close. One of the things that I might do is type in IDLE and just have a look. And yay, I see this over here, which is looking quite nice. I'm just going to click on it. This is the Python IDLE. So it's over here, and I did a previous video, but I know this anyway, but I've got recent files and it's got my hello world, so I can sort of like go there. These other ones are like larger things, and they don't run anymore because it is actually on a system that it runs. It's an algorithm website that doesn't run anymore, but the hello world is a good tester. It's always one of our best tests. There we go. We got a hello world here. Print hello world for I in range 10. Print hello. Okay, we've got a nested for loop for j in range 3. Print world. It's going to print hello world a bunch of times. My name is Darren. Print my name. Okay, let's just do that. We can hit the run module, and there we go. We've got lots of hellos and worlds and Darrens, and it all looks like it's perfectly fine. Although, why does it run it in the shell, the IDLE shell 3.9.7? That's a bit of a odd one. So let me just exit out of this. So file, exit, and just go to IDLE again for a second time, and go here and click on that one. That's the one I wanted. I obviously clicked on that one by accident. Let's just try that again. If I don't have the hello world naturally in the directory that it's in, then I'll just navigate to it, and hopefully because I've got enough hello world to test this. Nope, it's there. So, and this time we see the IDLE shell, so I'll kind of like circle it over here, the bit that I was talking about, but it says the shell over there. There we go, big fat arrow pointing to it. It's over there. So that was all fine. And I've got the same piece of code here, and it says that I can press F5 to run it. So this time I'm going to press F5 on the keyboard, and it all runs. So everything's fine. Why didn't it actually finish though, funny enough, or did it? Let's just do F5 again just for completeness. F5, yep, it all runs nicely. And if I do a run module, it'll do the same thing. So fantastic, that's all working. I can do a file exit ideally. I never needed to do that to be fair, but it's kind of like a nice side bit to do. And also now, if I just go to here and I go to type in where Python, I just hit the up arrow on the command prompt to see that. I wonder if I get the new version. I don't. So I wonder if I close this down and reopen it like this. So command prompt, and then type in where Python and hit return. Oh yeah, I do actually, sorry, and I wonder if I had that on the first time but I didn't spot it. For some reason, my Python, the 3.12, the newest version, is over here. And the previous version comes at the top. I don't know if that's a little bit concerning or not, because I'd like to see them in order. But is there a reason? I guess 3.11, no, because like if it was alphabetical or something, because 3.9 comes at the end. Because 3.10 would come before all of those. So I don't know, a little bit, should we say oddish, but let me just do I'll get rid of that, and I'll go back here and I'll type in Python. That still goes here, so exit. And if I guess I'll close this down and I'll just reopen up a new, I think it was a PowerShell at least, and type in Python. Okay, so exit. and I wonder if I have to close this. I'm going to close the whole terminal down, and I'll just do terminal again like that. Didn't want to do that, it's just opened up something that I didn't want, so terminal, okay, I want the terminal app, there we go. It's opened up at the side. It always seems to open up somewhere else. And if I just do Python now, I wonder, but I don't know. Piping, no, I don't. And as I exit, it's still pointing to the latest version of Python, which is a little bit concerning. And over here, if I do the command prompt and I type in, I guess where Python again, it's going to come second on the list, which was kind of like the thing that was concerning to me. But let me just I've got these stuff here. If I just close, save all files, and I'm going to just close this one down as well. That's my VS Code, and I'm just going to try and relaunch VS Code and see what happens. So I'll launch this. This is where like kind of all of my test stuff generally goes. And I'll nav over to something like this, which is we're just doing like a small piece of testing stuff here. I don't know why I've got triple quotes over there. There we go. Okay, fine. So it's all fine. But over here, I've got this version, and presumably now, if I click on this, I don't know why it's not. I think everything's launching itself up. Yeah, I don't see the 3.12, so I wonder if I have to actually do a restart of Windows. Potentially I might have to do a restart of Windows, which means that I will have to stop this video, because there's no other way for me at this point in time of doing a restart of Windows. So one thing that I might do is if I install a new version of Python on Windows, will I have to restart Windows to be able to access the new version? Question mark. I can't remember if I had to do that or not on the laptop. If I had to restart it, quite often you do with a lot of these. No, you don't need to restart Windows when you it says that, but then it says you can run Python in the PowerShell, Python double minus version in your PowerShell. So let's try that one. After it stops gibbering over here. Sometimes the thing about these chat things is they like to give you a lot of talk, and sometimes you don't want it. I'm just going to copy that in here and hit paste there. That's in the terminal, and here I paste it over there. And well, my one certainly run Python scripts directly with the update your IDE to point to the new Python. You know, it's not the case. So update the path environment manually. I don't want to have to update the path environment manually, but I will do like path. I wonder if I can system variables some way performance. I'm just going to do how to update path question mark. There we go. It's quicker than me trying to remind myself how to do it, but it'll be right. Computer and then properties and then path. Environment variables. It was actually there. Environment variables, and I think it's this one here, isn't it? I do see the Python scripts. It's all there. It's in the path, but it's not. Just hit OK for everything. I shouldn't even really need to hit OK. It's not there as far as I can see, and I think things to note. Restart. It says here, restart the command terminal for changes to take effect. I wonder if I can type in something like restart. I wonder if it's smart enough to do that. No, but it didn't seem to be the case that. But I do have another terminal running in the background. I wonder if I actually have to restart that, which I've got an algo running in the background over there and some Bitcoin stuff with some balances and so forth. And I wonder if I have to close that one down as well, as in all of the terminals. So I will do that for the sake of it. Why not? Close all, and I will then reopen up the terminal. So terminal app, this is my tester, and I should have been able to do Python double minus version. Nope, still in the old version, so it looks like I will certainly have to be doing a restart of Windows, although it said I didn't. It looks like I certainly do have to do that. So I'm going to end this stream and then I guess restart the stream again, because it's the only way of getting the new version by the looks of it. Or at least, let me have a little complaint at the system. When I type Python, I'll do this, Python double minus version, I still see the old version as default. Right, there we go. Let's see what Claude AI has to say about that. Restart your computer terminal application completely. This will force it to reload the environment things, but I have done that. If using command prompt run, I don't need to do that. If using PowerShell run, rearrange the path order where run Python. Run where Python to see that. That was the clue actually. Some terminals may cache. Check if you have set a virtual environment. Okay. How to how to rearrange a path order. So basically that's saying that if I go back to the terminal over here, while it's doing it, don't know why my terminal didn't, where's my terminal? Right, it's, edit the path through the system properties, advance it, edit the path, H key local, I don't want to be doing that. So that new folder is first. Okay, let me just try that out, which is, but what this was referring to is when you do in the, at least in the command prompt here, so if I do this where Python, basically we see that this one's not the top one and we want that to be the top one. I don't know why it didn't become the top one actually. It's the first time I've had that, so it's good that it's live. But if I go to here and do path again to get the environment variables, which was, I think, is edit system environment variables, and I go on to the environment variables over here, and I go on to path over here, I do see that as being the first one at the top. So it's not a case that I can move it up and down, because that's what I was hoping to. So I'm going to hit cancel, and cancel there. Edit the path through, right click the computer properties, advanced system setting, rearrange the file so that the new folder is first. I don't be doing these these PowerShell commands, whatever, or doing any of that. So I think the easiest way of a refresh is to do a restart of Windows. So I'm going to sign off of here and do a restart of Windows, and maybe I can rejoin afterwards. So I'll call this the end of the video. Not as fast as I expected. I can't remember if when I did it on the laptop, if it was, I can't remember if I did a restart or not. Normally I just do a restart actually. But I was hoping in this case maybe that I didn't have to because I have a live video running. I'm going to do a restart and see if that works and then report back. So I'm going to end the stream. If you did like it so far, this video, hit the like button, thumbs up, follow button and all the rest of it. And hopefully we will get Python 3.12 operating on the new system.